What in the 70s misogynistic sexual harassment shit is going on here? Only Richard Pryor in 1977 can make assault funny. This shit is funny. Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Tyra here with another struggle review, here to discuss Which Way Is Up. Now this movie is from 1977 and it stars Richard Pryor. Now before I get into everything I was feeling watching this film for the very first time, I need you guys to drop down and subscribe to my channel and like this video. I'm going to give you guys a moment to do that, and then we're going to come back and discuss all things comedy, pure unadulterated comedy. You know, it's really hard these days with the movies that come out to squeeze a laugh out of my hard ass. This one here, there was not one problem in sight. I had no problem laughing while at the same time acknowledging all the fuckery that's going on all up through this film. Don't get it twisted. Richard and whoever wrote this was with the shits.
Go back.
Now that you guys have hopefully subscribed to see more of me, let's get into this movie. But before we jump into the video, I have to give a shout out to the person who paid for and requested this movie. If you happen to get your whole life, it's not because of me, it's because of this person right here. Thank you so much for supporting my channel and introducing me to this movie. Like, dear Lord, forgive him. His mind is filled with lunacy. Now sit your ass down, nigga, before I put this glove on your ass. Like, took me out. Now, getting into this movie was directed by Michael Schultz, who is a very prolific Black director. I was like, look at the sheet. He has directed things like The Last Dragon, Woman Thou Art Loose, Cooley High, and other films starring Richard Pryor like Bustin' Loose, Car Wash, Grease Lightning. Like, they have a lengthy list of collaborations on some of Richard Pryor's most known acting roles. Now, this movie was also written by Carl Gottlieb and Cecil Brown. Cecil Brown is mostly known for writing novels, but Carl, on the other hand, has co-wrote movies like Jaws and also wrote on shows like All in the Family and The Odd Couple. So you can kind of see where the comical palette would have come from for this movie. Now, this was my first time watching this movie, and I really don't know how I missed it and why I missed it for so long. I was always really familiar with his other movies where he starred with Gene Wilder, you know, Stir Crazy, See No Evil, Hear No Evil, Silver Streak, movies like The Mac, Lady Sings the Blues, Car Wash, The Wiz. I've seen all of those. I politely kept skipping over this film. Please go watch this movie. This is where I got to see him shine outside of his stand-up, and you get to see that Richard Pryor will always and forever definitely be a blueprint for Black comedians, especially when we get into him playing multiple characters here way before, you know, Eddie Murphy and them decided to do it. But through his comedy, his delivery here, the way that these three characters are portrayed, you definitely see a lot of hints of Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence, Cat Williams. It's all here. He did it first. We love you, Richard. Now, getting into the movie, it wastes no time letting us know what type of movie this is and where we are. We get into sexually repressed ass Leroy trying to get some from Marguerite Avery, aka Sister. You've been on my mind Oh, we get to Suge Avery here. Suge Avery is here as anime, not church house, hen house, school house, outhouse, Nutbush City Limits. Not that anime. Whole different anime. Who just wants to lay there? I just want to lay here. We just woke up. I ain't even brushed my teeth. This movie immediately let me know the type of element we were in when we have anime who just, I'm just not with that this morning. Can you back up? Oh, well, Leroy, can't you just lay next to me, hold me, and whisper sweet nothings in my ear? Yes, open your legs, bitch. I was like, this movie has very strong, overt elements of sexual assault, sexual harassment, domestic violence. It's wrapped up in some of the strongest comedy that you would ever want to hear, courtesy of Richard Pryor, that you almost turn a blind eye to it. I have never seen something presented this way that is just so overtly wrong and so funny at the same goddamn time. Leroy is here as a little lying, conniving, sexist, sexual deviant. His whole mission throughout this film is to low-key get some. Like, you have his really, like, not just get some, but get some by any means necessary, even if we have to use brute force. On top of his misogynistic ass sexual behavior, along with his dad Rufus, like the whole disrespect of, like, yeah, nigga, you can't have no kids. You gotta get some pussy first before you can have some kids, son. Like, oh, Rufus, calm down, baby. He ain't mean. And you shut up, bitch. Like, I already kind of knew what I was in for with Richard Pryor. This, first of all, is the 70s, so there are all kinds of derogatory, racist ass terms up and through this film because it was acceptable to say these things at that time. But not only are you gonna get that, you're gonna get about 400,000 nigga, you're gonna get a whole bunch, like, nigga. You'll get a whole bunch of those, and you're gonna get a whole bunch of profanity. Like, it is just absolutely fucking hilarious. Now, the sexual aspects that Leroy brings to the film, and we are going to dive all into those. So much to me weren't the which way is up aspects really strong there. Those were more so in the forefront when we get into his job and what he does for a living or lack thereof. You can see that the entire family doesn't come from a lot of means. They are picking oranges for a living. They are quite, the little man on a totem pole. But we have an up and coming politician who really would love to, change that. Let's get into scabs. Let's get into joining the union. Let's, get you guys some more money. All we need is one man. Now, Leroy mistakenly joins the union by a slip and fall off of a ladder at which he is ran out of town. Now, before we even get into Leroy being ran out of town, I love that even though this is a comedy and it's not, the best, written movie, but we have strong aspects of who Leroy is way in the beginning of the story. And right away, we know that Leroy ain't shit. Like, Leroy is all about his image. He's very braggadocious, and at this point in the film, for a very long time, trying to be something that he isn't, trying to impress the people around him. Leroy can't even come outside and get in his truck without, oh yeah, she keeping you up all night, she giving you some, oh look at you, you look tired, anime must be rocking your world. What the hell you think? No, and he ain't getting no ass from anime. Anime is very much, kind of that down-home country girl. You can see them here and maybe think that this was, her first time in a relationship, in a marriage. She's still, trying to find herself sexually as a woman. In this marriage, she's not, too experienced. You ain't getting none from anime. But he wants people to think he is. He wants people to think certain things so much that he goes out of his way to not only act like he joined the union on purpose, but he is happy to do so. Even though low-key he is in fear for his life, especially when a white man with the bling bling pinky rings decides to show up and carry his ass out of town. Like, when I tell you that shit was hilarious when they rolled up and said, "Is this you in the paper?" And this motherfucker goes like, "Who? What?" No, like you cannot make this shit up. Now, before Leroy leaves town, he has some type of dignity about himself. Not only does he have his wife Annie Mae, but he has the strong aspects of his friends, and he, can kind of come off sometimes as a good guy. But by the time he leaves and goes away to LA, all of that shit falls out the window. Child, like every single part of this movie really finding clever ways to not only inject that comedy, but still instill that Leroy is pretending even more to be something that he isn't. He wants to, be something in the eyes of not only his friends, but his fathers. And since he can't be that, he would rather lie. But it's still fucking funny when we have, him making it seem like he's at some lavish job. He's in some lavish ass room. He, I would have sent y'all some money, but I already sealed the envelope. Like, all to get a job, all to look a certain way, not at all appreciating any of the aspects that he had back at home, all the way down to his life, his job, his family, his friendships, relationships, and definitely not Annie Mae. Because as soon as he blinked and saw Vanetta, aka Lynette McKee, over and over you astound me. I take pleasure to have you around me. My loving nose would love to squeeze you. She just gonna always be sister, I'm sorry. But once we saw sister with her cute ass, it was to hell with Annie Mae. Even though he was married, he is full-blown ass married, ready, on site, ready to cheat. Now, Vanetta is very, very, very interested in the union and what she can do to help the workers. And then, of course, Leroy, all of a sudden, he's very interested as well, because he only has one thing on his mind for majority of this film. Now, I had already, once he did the whole, open your legs, bitch, I was like, okay. When we get into Lynette McKee and how he decides to engage with her, where? Like, this in no way should ever be acceptable, not even in 1977. But, I'm so glad that this is a comedy, because if it wasn't, it would be a fucking horror movie. Like, he literally stalks this woman, chases her down. Of course, it's played for laughs. Stalks her, chases her down, and forcefully lies to her, makes himself look like he's a bigger part of this union. As we see him do this multiple times in the movie with multiple women, find out what they like, seek, common interests, downright lie, and then forcefully try to put his tongue down this woman's throat, throw his body on her, harass her in this fucking park. Now, what really makes, scenes like that bearable and also adds comedy within the scene outside of the comedy that Richard is providing, child, him chasing her and being out of breath and passing out is fucking hilarious. But every time you see him think that he's gotten an upper hand on one of these women, try to downright sexually assault them, force himself physically on them, they always wind up having the upper hand and kicking his goddamn ass. Yeah. Leave that in there. Now, not only does he continue to stalk her and playfully wear her down, but he actually makes his way past her door. He keeps claiming he is very much so in love with this woman, even though he is quite in lust from what we can see. And from what I could see, downright spitting game and, I just can't stand here and look at you and not have you for my woman, so I should just leave. Get that shit out of my face. I know game when I see game. Like, Richard, Leroy is out here laying it on thick. And then I'm sitting there watching this. And I'm like, oh no, Lynette, you're falling for it. She's a victim. At which, when we get into the sexual shit, it's just like, yeah, you just have to be with me and only me, and you can't sleep with anybody else. We have to be committed. You can't sleep with nobody, not even your wife. You with the shits too? Oh, terrible. A whole year goes by and they have a whole baby. Leroy has a whole life set up with this woman and has not thought about Annie Mae. He has cast her aside like she was nothing. But little does he know, we had already knew Marguerite Avery is fine. And Annie Mae was out there living her best life, being fine, you know, with BB Drake as her best friend. Tell your fine daddy I said, hi. Like, yeah, we out here and we showing out. But she's there, she's being faithful, she's writing, and he could not be thinking about her. He's content with his life, and he's a painter, and he is a new father. All until that same, you know, bling bling pinky ring pops back up and reminds him of what's really going on doing his baby's christening. Now, when we get into Richard Pryor and, you know, the physical comedy of it all and what he's able to emote as a comedian, he is so good. We have him, you know, I love how everything here is pretty much done on accident. You know, he's accidentally stopping the politician who's all about, you know, the scabs and the union and the rights from being shot. But just Richard's reaction and, you know, him pretending that he didn't see anything, and it's just absolutely hilarious. And I love it because we got to see him interact with Paul Mooney, two of, you know, best comedians, best fucking throwback comedians. But at this point, we see that there is kind of this undertone of, you know, these men being in this organization and them wearing rings. And this is when we get into the politics of the situation and what Leroy is willing to sacrifice and willing to do. And the man recognizing that he is the type of man to, you know, keep his head down, follow orders, not be, as you know, forthcoming with information, real funky and low down. And you are the type of brother that I want working for me in my man organization, giving him a job, putting him right back to where he just left from, pretending to be someone that he isn't yet again. Now, once we have Leroy return home and he's no longer, you know, the orange picker, he's working in the factory, making money moves, the comedy really fucking picks up as if it wasn't hilarious enough already. It hits a pivotal though. This shit, like, I literally fell out of my chair. Like, not only do we have Lynette McKee's character, you know, being very comfortable. I'm like, this is some misogynistic ass 70s shit for her to be just that complacent, to be kept in low key in hiding, not only herself and her son, so Leroy can go and pretend to be with his family, his actual wife and his dad, and live in a house. And he's doing double duty, trying not only to be faithful and still be there in her life, but refrain from sexing up fine ass Annie Mae and keeping his promise to Vanetta. Child, when we have him get, goddamn Annie Mae, goddamn, yes, you tried to play me and leave me for light-skinned Vanetta, but I've been here, I've been fine. You just not recognizing Margaret Avery was fine? Nigga, please. It's very, hi Tiger. You come into bed and it's just like, oh, damn Annie Mae. Oh, no, what is it, 6:35? Oh, I gotta get up early. Like, to see him just be all repressed, and it's really played for a lot of laughs in that moment. You know, her bringing out the vibrator. What the fuck is that? Like, you know, oh, it's a help, you know, with intimacy, with part, like, put that shit away. Do you know what that looks like? I'll see you on Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Like, she is trying so hard, but even though it's made, you know, to make us laugh, which it did, Annie Mae is another representation in Leroy's life that he didn't know. Everything that he aspired to have, you know, the Vanetta, the whole situation, the life, it was already there in present way before he left. And if he wasn't so busy trying to pretend to be something that he wasn't and lie to make himself look a certain way, he would have realized that. And not just Annie Mae, once we get into his relationships with his family, you know, his friends, Chewy and whatnot, all of y'all were tighter than tight when your ass was picking oranges. But when you got, you know, to be at a higher level, you had to change yourself and abide by certain rules to appease, you know, certain men with the pinky ring, so that you had the opportunity to be somebody because you felt like you were a nobody. You know, you're now even more of a liar and a cheater, a little conniving person, more so than you were before you ever left town. Child, when we get more into him and goddamn Annie Mae and the whole vibrator situation and her sticking that shit up his butt and breaking that bed because she's riding him and trying to be dominatrix ass Annie Mae. Did it hurt, Leroy? But it felt good, huh? Enjoy the pain. Bitch, I'ma kill you. Like, that shit is hilarious. You have Rufus come in. God damn it, man. God damn. If I had to hear, God damn, Annie, maybe one more time. And she's just breaking down. And in her eyes, she just feels like he is just not into me anymore. He must be gay. But of course, since this is 1977, they use the other word. Child, the way that shit spread around that little backyard barbecue was fucking hilarious. But of course, we have Leroy needing to be Leroy and prove himself. Prove himself so much that he's willing to just blow up his own fucking spot and take his friends to see Lynette in the sun just to prove that he's not gay and he's a manly man. He's all about perception and how others perceive him. Now, if you ever had any ounce of feeling sorry for Leroy as a character and him having to spread himself so thin and him being a double agent and him falling into the trap of, being trapped by the man with the bling bling pinky ring, changing his perception, his mind, changing him as a person, they snatched that shit back right away when we not only begin to see Leroy start feeling himself in his position and mistreating the friends that are around him, but he completely flips his shit when Annie Mae turns up pregnant, even though he has been living a whole double life. Like, she pregnant and you ain't the daddy. Annie Mae's not pregnant. Well, why not? Because I'ma kill the bitch. Like, when we get into the whole domestic violence of it all and them going in on, like, he is literally choking her. Who is it? Who's the motherfucker who did this? It was the reverend. I was seeking guidance and counseling. That motherfucker, that pot-belly, big nose. And I love how he goes in as if he's not playing that particular character. Slimy, greasy, no preaching, having ass motherfucker. That man, anybody. Like, I don't deserve to live. Kill me, Leroy. You're impotent. You're gay. Once we get that out, it's like, oh, you another person downplaying me as a man? Not me, not Leroy. I have something to prove. Even in this moment when my whole fucking life is in jeopardy, I blow up my own spot and not only say that I'm cheating on you, but I have a bitch across town. I have a whole baby, Leroy Jr., and I wax that ass every night. Yeah, now what? I'll kill you, you bitch ass nigga. You all right, Leroy? Yeah. I almost killed the bitch. Like, the comedy of it all. This is around the time that I dropped all hope for Leroy whatsoever. When we have him plot his revenge because she got pregnant by this reverend and just get it into his mind, it's an eye for an eye situation after his sermon, and decides to get his revenge by sleeping with this man's wife. Really, Leroy? Like, if nothing else in this movie told you Leroy wants shit, this was the moment. I love his whole portrayal of the preacher. Like, yeah, you in the back, nigga. Sit your ass down before I lay this glove on your ass. Like, it is absolutely funny. Mostly the preacher's aspect. You have seen this character, portrayed multiple times throughout the years with countless other comedians. Richard is everything. Now, when we get into this whole smooth ass Mr. Goodnight persona, like the predatory behavior of it all. And I actually like this because I was a little conflicted at his relationship with Vanetta in the beginning and his behavior towards her. It was coming off really predatory, really fake. Him still, even at that moment, pretending to be something that he wasn't, appeal to her common interest just to get her into bed and be in her life. Same thing happened with Sister Sarah. Sister Sarah is whole ass finesse because she's a piano teacher and now he wants lessons in the language of love and he just can't control his passion, all slithering all down this woman's neck. Like, you ain't had that to go and do, Leroy, but that just shows you how lost and conniving and underhanded Leroy was. Leroy is not only breaking his promise that he made to Vanetta, but he is trying his best as Mr. Goodnight to wear her down. Once again, we're stalking, we're following, giving her liquor, trying to get her drunk to get her into bed. Like, once we get into, and it just seemed like as we went on, we saw his predatory, aggressive ass behavior progress with each woman. We saw it very early on. Open your legs, bitch. We saw him attack Vanetta in the goddamn park. The way that he went at Sister Sarah, and it was all disguised under the umbrella of, you know, I just can't hold back and contain my passions. Ripping this woman's clothes off, you know, restricting her, you know, you don't have the strength. I'm about, what? Why? Absolutely fucking not. But thank you, Jesus. Sister Sarah had the strength of about 12 niggas. Like, not only does, you know, she get him off of her, but he still persists and, you know what, it's fine. I've been waiting on this for a long time. That damn pastor been out there running around on me. I hope you got a strong back. Oh God, can I get some water? Like, no, lay your ass down, nigga. But once again, we have Leroy putting his foot in the mouth and just can't fucking shut up. Never knew when to shut up. You know, you were all the revenge I need. Like, no, nigga, what the fuck you mean I was all the revenge you need? You used me? Like, okay, since you used me, he gave your wife a baby, you gonna give me a baby. Nigga, don't you know I will kill you? Like, throwing him around that goddamn trailer, hemming his ass up. We have Leroy doing double duty, trying to sexually satisfy not only Vanetta, but Sister Sarah as well. That shit with Sister Sarah took me the fuck out. I was like, oh, can you get it up yet? Oh, if you could just give me some help, maybe I can get it up. Can you help me out? All right, now I'll give you a little peek. There you go. Oh, that helped me out a whole lot. That's all I ever needed. God, this shit is funny. But we have Leroy, who is just completely overwhelmed, especially when his friends decide to sit out. They call him out on forgetting, you know, who he is and where he came from. You don't know which way is up. You want us to work on these horrible ass machines that are life-threatening. But old Leroy, who was back there picking oranges with us, would never do that. And we have him boldly go upstairs to see the man with the bling bling pinky ring. These white Colonel Sanders looking ass niggas. Like, he goes up there and he reminds him just how low on the totem pole he is, what his position really is in the company, and who he really, you can't flex anything in any power here. You think I don't know what's going on in your life? We are following you. We are constantly watching you. That's why we knew the type of nigga you was and that you wasn't shit and that we could hire you to do shit like this. You need to, you know, get respect, get some footing. Matter of fact, go down there, continue to do your jobs, and you can have my scraps. Eat the rest of that lobster. I insist. You ain't shit, ain't never gonna be shit. Your babies ain't shit. I run shit around here. Back the fuck up, Leroy. Now, at that point, he takes it all in and kind of gets a grip on reality that, you know what? I might not be living my life right. This might not be what I want to do. You think, Leroy? You slept with my wife, you sneaky, sliming, conniving son of a bitch. Like, he slept with me too. He got me too. Of course, this is, you know, that typical story of the pastor, the reverend, spreading himself too thin amongst the congregation, sleeping with all the women, not only in the community, the church, and and not bringing it on home to Sister Sarah. An eye for an eye, a baby for a baby. Like, ma'am, no. Everybody in this little town is funky low down. We have him fucking chased out of the church, and it is freaking hilarious when he gets rolled over and they back up and roll over his ass again. Like, and it's then and only then that we have Leroy get the revelation of, you know what? This probably has gone too far. This man has lost his life. Really, Leroy? Come on, Sister Sarah. Is there anything I can do? Is there anything I can do? Yes. Fuck off. Like, back your ass up. You have done enough. And in the very end, we see that everything is stripped away from Leroy. Not only do we have, you know, Vanetta, that whole situation, she ran off with Chewy. We saw her and Chewy had, you know, common interest, a little bit in common. You know, hey, but Chewy, you motherfucker. Yeah, Chewy ran off with your woman. She's left, you know, you didn't keep your promise to anybody. You're not only not keeping your promises to me and your son, even though how do you expect a married man to keep you a promise? But, you know, you're being used and you're too dumb to recognize I can change. Vanetta, get the fuck out of my face, Leroy. We even have him, you know, switch. Oh, okay, well, where's Annie Mae? Yeah, Annie Mae, I loved you. Like, no, get out of my face. The whole near and dear, you know, the things, the possessions that he needed to have to make him somebody when he really had all he really needed to be somebody and needed to appreciate who he was in the beginning without those things. And that's the first time we see him, you know, have no need to lie and be something he isn't. And, you know, I'm prepared. I'm going to turn my back, you know, kiss my ass. You might as well shoot me in it because it's the last thing you're going to see. I'm sticking up for myself and who I am as Leroy. I'm finally in myself and in my body and comfortable with who I am and having nothing. I have nothing at this job. I have nobody, no friends, no car, no job, no aspects for a real productive future right now. But I know who I am. I'm fucking Leroy, and I'm gonna be my own man and not be your fucking left dog. I know which way is up. But for us to find that out, we had to be low down as fuck. Leroy wasn't shit. Like, Leroy was a fucked up dude. When you get into all the things that Leroy did in the movie with the friends, the women, the harassment, the sexual deviant ass nature, somebody, you know, pull up and run Leroy the fuck over. It's only right. Well, you guys, that was my review for Which Way Is Up. I hope you enjoyed it. Please drop down and tell me what you thought about my review and what you think about this film as a whole. It should be very interesting. I look forward to reading your comments. I appreciate you guys for watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. That shit helps me out. I'll see you guys next time for my next review. Bye.